What is open source AI? Artificial intelligence is one of the most transformative technologies of our time, shaping everything from search engines and medical diagnostics to self-driving cars and digital assistants. But behind the headlines and the hype, there's a growing movement that's redefining how AI is built, shared, and scaled. That movement is called open source AI. But what exactly does that mean? To understand open source AI, we first need to understand the broader concept of open source software. At its core, open source means the code is publicly available. Anyone can access it, modify it, and build upon it, often under a license that promotes collaboration and transparency. Think of Linux, Python, or TensorFlow. These aren't just tools. They're ecosystems created by communities, not corporations. Now apply that same philosophy to artificial intelligence. Open source AI refers to AI models, datasets, frameworks, and tools that are shared freely with the world. No paywalls, no NDAs, no corporate gatekeepers. Instead of closed, proprietary systems like OpenAI's GPT-4 or Google's Gemini, open source AI models like Meta's LLaMA, Mistral, or EleutherAI's GPT-J are available for anyone to study, customize, or deploy. But it goes deeper than access. Open source AI is a mindset. It's about democratizing innovation. It's about allowing students in Nairobi, researchers in Hanoi, or developers in Sao Paulo to build powerful models without waiting for permission from Silicon Valley. And it's growing fast. Why is open source AI gaining traction now? There are several reasons. Some technical, some ethical, some political. First, cost. Training large AI models from scratch can cost millions of dollars in compute resources, data curation, and engineering labor. But once a high-quality model is released as open source, that cost is shared. Developers can fine-tune the model on their own data, run it on their own hardware, or integrate it into products without reinventing the wheel. Second, transparency. Proprietary models operate like black boxes. You feed in a question, get an answer, but you don't know how the system was trained, what biases might exist, or what data it was fed. Open source AI, by contrast, invites scrutiny. Researchers can audit training datasets, inspect the architecture, and propose fixes. This matters not just for technical quality, but for safety, fairness, and trust. Third, customization. A hospital in Bangkok might want an AI model fine-tuned on Thai medical records. A back in Kenya might need a chatbot that understands Swahili. With open-source models, these kinds of localized, niche, or industry-specific adaptation become possible, even for organizations without huge budgets. But perhaps the biggest reason is control. In a world where a handful of tech giants dominate AI infrastructure, open source gives users a way to regain autonomy. They're not locked into APIs. They're not subject to changing terms of service. They don't need to worry that their data is being harvested. They own the stack. That's powerful. Now let's look at some key players in the open source AI ecosystem. First, Meta. While often criticized for its data practices, Meta has made bold moves in open source AI with its LLaMA series. These large language models, LLaMA 2 and the newly announced LLaMA 3, have become foundational models for many startups and research projects around the world. Meta's models are widely used for academic research, enterprise fine-tuning, and even real-time chatbot apps. Second, Hugging Face, often called the GitHub of AI. Hugging Face hosts thousands of pre-trained models, datasets, and tools. More importantly, it offers a platform for collaboration. You can find models for translation, sentiment analysis, summarization, and more, all ready to use, adapt, and improve. Third, Stability AI. This company shocked the world when it released Stable Diffusion, an open-source text-to-image model that rivals commercial tools like Midjourney and DALL-E. Suddenly, artists, developers, and creators had access to a powerful generative model they could run on consumer-grade GPUs. Other contributors include EleutherAI, Big Science, the team behind Bloom, Mistral, and newer initiatives like Open Assistant, which aim to build transparent alternatives to ChatGPT. Together, these groups are reshaping the AI landscape, not through billion-dollar labs, but through open collaboration. Now, let's talk impact. Open-source AI is fueling a new generation of startups, especially in regions that have historically been underrepresented in tech. Startups in Southeast Asia, Africa, and Latin America are now building chatbots, diagnostics tools, voice assistants, and data labeling platforms using open models as their base. Education is another major area of impact. Because open-source models and datasets are publicly available, students can learn not just how to use AI, but how it works. Universities can teach AI literacy at scale. High schoolers can run experiments. Innovators from non-traditional backgrounds can contribute to world-class projects. This flattens the learning curve and diversifies the talent pool. Governments are also taking note. Some countries are exploring open-source AI as a way to reduce dependency on foreign tech providers. France and Germany, for example, have invested in building sovereign AI infrastructure that leans heavily on open models. In the United States, organizations like the National Science Foundation and DARPA have begun supporting open research that emphasizes reproducibility and access. Even in the corporate world, open-source AI is finding a home. Companies are using open models to build internal tools, develop safer applications, and test hypotheses before committing to commercial licenses. Some are releasing their own models to gain community goodwill or recruit top talent. Of course, open source is not without risks. Security researchers warn that powerful open models can be misused. For example, to generate deepfakes, spam, or misinformation. Because there are fewer restrictions, it's easier for malicious actors to fine-tune models for harmful purposes. There's also the challenge of accountability. If something goes wrong with an open-source model, who's responsible? The original developers, the person who fine-tuned it, the person who deployed it. These are complex questions, and the open-source community is still working on answers. Licensing is another thorny issue. Some open-source models are released under very permissive licenses, like Apache 2.0 or MIT, meaning anyone can use them for commercial purposes. Others include clauses that restrict use for sensitive areas like surveillance, political manipulation, or autonomous weapons. The term open itself has become a point of debate. Some models, like Meta's LLaMA, are open weight, meaning you can access the weights of the model, but not necessarily use them freely in all contexts. Critics argue that open weight is not the same as open source, and that clarity is urgently needed. Despite the challenges, the open source AI movement continues to grow. Conferences like NeurIPS, ISA, and EMNLB now host workshops focused on open models, datasets, and benchmarking. Leaderboards like Open LLM Leaderboard track the performance of new models released by the community. Tools like LangChain, Transformers, and DeepSpeed make it easier than ever to build production-ready apps with open AI. There's also a cultural shift happening. Developers are no longer satisfied with using tools. They want to understand them, shape them, and share them. Open source AI offers a place for that curiosity, a space where innovation is driven by collaboration, not competition, where the best ideas rise because they are tested by thousands of minds, not a single boardroom, where AI isn't just built for the few, but by and for the many. So what does the future look like? Expect hybrid models, where open and closed systems coexist. Expect open source AI to power national infrastructure, non-profit tools, educational platforms, and small businesses alike. Expect more clarity around open licensing, security standards, and ethical use policies. Expect new contributors from parts of the world that have long been left out of the tech conversation. And most importantly, expect the line between user and creator to blur. Because when AI is open source, anyone can participate, anyone can improve, anyone can innovate. And that's the true power of this movement. It's not just about code. It's about access. It's about agency. It's about inclusion. Open source AI isn't the solution to every problem, but it is a powerful tool for shaping a future where knowledge is shared, systems are transparent, and innovation is truly global. So whether you're a developer, a student, a policymaker, or just someone curious about the future, now is the time to pay attention. Because open source AI isn't coming. It's already here, and it's rewriting the rules of what's possible, together. From the early pioneers in open source software to today's AI communities, one truth remains clear. When we build in the open, we build stronger. We learn faster. We solve harder problems. The next breakthrough in AI might not come from a trillion-dollar company. It might come from a kid in a remote village with a laptop, an idea, and access. And that changes everything.